Now I'm live. Hey guys, welcome to Hendrickson Family Farm. In today's video, I just figured I'd hop in here and do a live because my audio on my Canon M50 apparently is not working at all. It's kind of spotty, I guess. I shouldn't say at all. It's working hit and miss. Now let's see if I can find it on the channel. Hit the refresh button. And I am live now. So I don't have a whole lot. We did have Friday, we had a big windstorm come through Oklahoma. Imagine if there are some people from Oklahoma either coming in later or something. So when the windstorm came through, it ended up bringing a lot of fires in through the central part of Oklahoma, down by down by Arcadia. It had some. There was close to us in Stillwater. There were probably 10 or 15 fires all around us. And then north of us up by Pawnee, there was a couple storms, or not storms, there was a couple of fires there as well. It's a little parched. I needed a drink. Well, when the winds came through, you could just hear. I mean, it was just howling. It was 70. I think it was sustained at 40, and it was gusting to 70, 80 miles an hour. The winds were Friday. Well, when it happened, I have the ridge vent on my house. Part of it blew off. Part of the hay barn roof folded back. I just went out there and checked it, and I was going to fold it down and bolt it down, but the lag bolts that hold the header board, it broke those because it was sitting there popping up so much. It was kind of crazy. And I don't know if we had. Other than that, I think that's all the damage we had. We had some trees, some limbs break on some trees. There was some other stuff that happened. I don't know if anyone's going to come in because it is kind of late notice. Usually, so there are some people that pop in and say hello and stuff. So one of the things that I've been working on, YouTube takes a lot of data to create, and I'm not talking about internet data, or I'm talking more about storage data, especially if you keep your videos. I know people say, oh, well, I have the videos on YouTube. Well, that's true. But the raw videos that you make and edit, there's some benefits to keeping them, and then there's some benefits to not keeping them. You don't need as much storage. All right, that's a big benefit that you have, is you don't need a lot of storage. So I found an alternative to storage, and it just takes an old computer or older computer and a little bit of motivation, and you can create your own server, a home server, or home lab. There's tons of different things that you can call it, and you can look online for different instructional instruction led videos. There's some really great ones. And then you can add as much storage to it as you want. There's another alternative, and it's called a NAS, network. It's just network storage. You put it on the internet, and then you can get to it from your phone, from your computer. You don't have to plug directly into it. It just transfers directly to your storage. You just click and drag it to your device, and it just starts backing it up. Uh, One of the things that I was kind of interested in is wondering if anyone was wanting to build one here online, or I give you ideas where to build them from. There's tons of options. There's like TrueNAS, and Synology is another good alternative if you just want to buy something, put it in. But it can be pretty expensive doing it that way. If you buy a NAS storage pre-made storage device, it can be pretty pricey. So with mine that I just currently built here, I took an old desktop computer that was probably, I'm going to say, at least 10 years old, probably older, and I turned it into a server. Well, on the server, you can run different types of services to back your data up, whether it's, you can run it like you can actually run a true NAS style software. So then it will do it that way. But I settled on Casa OS, and I seem to like it. And then if I'm not at home on my local network, I say local network, I'm talking about the internet here at my house, whether I'm plugged into it directly or Wi-Fi, because I can get to it really easy that way. But whenever I go to, oh, man, I'm tired. When I get off of my network, that's where it becomes a problem to be able to connect to your server or anything at your house. You can actually, if you store everything on a laptop, you can run things like TeamViewer. Google has one. It's like Google or Chrome Remote Desktop. That's one of the ones I use. And then there's another one called Rust Desk. There's a guy on YouTube, Network Chuck. I do watch some things on there because I'm kind of interested in some of that just because of what I have to do for work. There's a lot of things I don't know. Says there's 4 people watching. Thanks for coming in. I don't know who you are, but so if you do choose to do a NAS or a server, there's there's tons of different things you can do to connect to it when you're off your network. There's a free software. It's called Telscape or TwinGate. I do run TwinGate to connect to my all of my server. So it's like a VPN essentially. Is kind of what it is. It, it it seems to work pretty good. Whenever I did my taxes a couple weeks ago, I had a paper on my server, so I was just able to go to it and s- download it to my phone and then email it to my tax preparer, and they were able to get everything done really simple. So there are some benefits to having a server, or a network storage device, a NAS. But if it's something that people are interested in, I can show you where I found some information on it, or we could actually. I have to build another one anyway, so we could actually do a step-by-step tutorial on how to do it. I do have to networking is it's not part of my job, but I have to there's a lot of that kind of stuff that I have to learn how to do on my own because I didn't go to school for networking. I went to school for controls, and at the time, controls weren't networked like they are today with Ethernet lines and stuff. It's crazy how fast technology has taken over the whole everything. I mean, your phones are out of date in a year, laptops are out of date in a year. It's just crazy. Operating systems constantly updating because people are learning how to hack them. Um, and I grew up in the age where computers were just not really coming out, but they were getting they're getting more popular. Like the operating system that I learned how to use was Microsoft 3.1, which everything was done in like DOS, so the command line. So like Windows computers, I'm not a huge fan of. So I run like Kali Linux on a virtual machine on my laptop. Hey Jerry, how's it going? Chat. I'm trying to remember how to put a link in. I don't remember how to put a link in. It's another cool day. Yeah, except I'm glad there's no winds today. We had fires and everything around us Friday, and we didn't have power for 48 hours, so I had to run my generator. Um, Jerry, I'm trying to remember how to do a link. Maybe if I hit this button, copy link. Oh, there it is. See how long that takes to pop up. So, yeah, so networking is where was what I was talking about. It's I think there's a lot of benefits to having a server for the storage space, whether depending on what exactly you're wanting to do. Um, so the I don't they evacuated the west side of Stillwater Friday night. They evacuated part of Perkins, which is south of Stillwater. I heard someone say something about Ripley. I don't know that one for sure. I would have to ask my son about the Ripley one. His girlfriend's from over that way. What's up, Gary? Um, but they did evacuate a lot of people because of the fires Friday. We did get quite a bit of. There's a one of the big fancy neighborhoods in Stillwater. I think all but two or three houses burnt down, and there's probably 20 or 30, maybe more in that housing addition. It's kind of crazy. Like you seen it, I mean, everybody knows California is always seems like it's either on fire or something. Something's always going on. And one of the electricians at work, he just moved here from California, and he's like, "That's why I moved to Oklahoma to get away from all of the fires all the time." The outside was just a red haze, smoky haze. It was kind of Armageddon-ish. You know what I mean? It like I don't know, just my opinion, I guess. A touch of California. All right, Gary. Well, thanks for coming in. Well, I'm gonna try to have fun, Gary. I'm just my audio's not working on my big camera, so I just figured I'd hop on and do a live again, figuring out how this new live stream and everything, the live streams, everything kind of changed from when I was doing it before. So I was just trying to get the hang of it again. So I'm going to have to go pick up one of the cows that's over at, say, 4 or 5 miles away. I have her over there getting bred with a buddy of mine's bull. Hopefully, we can get a little bull calf out of it because she's not related to any of my other cows. So it'll be I will be able to keep her or keep him as a bull if that's the case. 'Cause she's really really nice cow. I think we're going to look at getting into some more goats. Nina was mentioning about getting some more goats. They do miracles for pastures. With we have a lot of that Cerisa lespedeza, so we're trying to. You either have to spray it or you have to have something that eats it. And I'm not against spraying a pasture. Um, there are a lot of people that are. I don't have the ability to full time farm, so that what it takes to rotate and graze everything the way that probably should. I don't have the ability to do because I don't have the ability to full time farm. Yeah, cattle are really really pricey right now. Um, Someone told me the other day they took 20. I want to say it was 35 uh, calves to the sale, and they ended up with $42,000, and they're all 500 weights. So the cattle market's good. Um, I wish I had a bunch more to take to the sale, but I don't. And I think one of the main reasons why it's up so high is because if you looked up there, Nebraska to Dakotas, what was it, 3 years ago, they were in a bad drought. And then last year and the year before, the southern part was in a drought. So everybody was just selling everything off that they couldn't sustain. And now the replacement cattle are high dollar. So it. I got Beefmaster bull. So I used to have a bunch of Beefmaster. That's all I had. And I got rid of them. Kind of kicked myself for it. Beefmasters are some of my favorites. Just they just look healthy. Big old healthy looking. Yeah. So what have you been up to, Jerry? Every once in a while it says there's 5 people in, and then it drops right back down to 2. About the time I was about to say Thanks for the people that are coming in, and then it just dropped back down to 2. Eh, it is what it is. It's kind of a short notice um, live stream. Everybody was just gone. Couldn't make video because the audio, so I just hopped on here. Yeah, I used to show Jerry. I used to show Beefmasters, and in the open, and then Semitoles were what I show for in the registered classes. But the Beefmasters at the time were registered because my uncle, his name's Tater. He raises Beefmasters, so all of his Beefmaster heifers, he gets. He has the Beefmaster Association come up, and so they certify them F5. I think is what it is. Yeah. Well, I know you stay home, but I didn't know if you had any projects you're working on, Jerry. I wonder if I can go to here and then go to here. Hmm. It seems like the chat's faster on YouTube than it does Restream. I haven't really got to look at the fence line back in the back and to see if I have any trees down on top of it. On top of the fences, I don't think so. There's only one area that has trees that would be able to get on top of my fence. So Jerry, what I was talking about earlier with the storage, how much storage do you have for all of your YouTube videos that you've made? Do you keep all of your raw videos that you turn into um videos, or do you just delete all of your old? Oh, it beeped at me. There's a third person. It's Jerry. What's up, Jerry? Are you there? Jerry? It's really choppy. No, it's still choppy. No, it's like a chipmunk talking. It's a little bit better, but it's still. No, I can't hear you. Let me go to YouTube and see if it's better on YouTube. Nope, it's still the same. Yeah, I don't know that much about the audio and stuff on here anymore. It still sounds like a chipmunk. Do you have two windows open? Maybe the other one is making it do it, like the YouTube. It's still the same. It's it okay. There were two, and now there's one. So, if you guys are not familiar with Jerry's Butler Family Farm,
Okay, how's that do?
that's way better.
Okay, I reset it.
So, Jerry, I have a question.
Okay.
So, all of your videos that you make for YouTube, do you store all of the raw video footage? Do you store any of your videos that you make?
The videos I've made and uploaded, yes, I keep them on a hard drive. The clips, I call them clips. You know, the
Yeah.
part where you record out there and then you edit it out. Once I've
Yeah.
made the video, I delete the clips out.
Okay.
Because once you've uploaded it, if you need something out of that, you can go back and download that video again, you know, and take out the clip and clip out whatever you want.
Right, but so there's a lot of things that that don't make the videos whenever I'm making a video. There's a lot of parts of it that don't make it, right?
Right.
So I store both sides. I store the raw data, a raw video, and then I store the actual video that I made as well.
Well, most of my videos are one-shot clips, you know, because we're doing something, you know, either with the cows or with and you can't get the cows to back up and take another shot, you know.
Well, no, I get that, but usually I have multiple segments in mind, right? So
Right.
So like I'll be doing something with cows and then I might go be brush hogging. Well, getting out of the tractor and open the gates up or something, I might be telling jokes or something, and that gets turned into shorts that don't make the videos. But then I keep them because my plan was originally to make a gag reel at the end of the year, and I've never made one.
I make blooper videos, you know,
Yeah.
where something like we're recording something and Susan was like, she's cooking something or I'm cooking something, and we say something wrong, and we all got to take that over again. So then I'll take that blooper and put it in a blooper video and make a 15-minute long of a blooper video. So and I do that like every 6 months or so.
Yeah. So if you
once
actually
I've done the video, I get rid of the bloopers. I don't keep any of that raw stuff.
Yes. I mean, there's pros and cons to it, right? You don't have to have the storage room if you don't have it.
That's it.
So, I mean, one way, half dozen the other. But if you go back and you watch some of my videos, a lot of people don't catch it because at the end of my videos, I say thanks for watching, and then it cuts to a little white screen that says thanks for watching the video. And then if you wait about 5-10 seconds after that pops up, a little gag deal starts on the back of the videos. And only a handful of people have ever really even caught them.
Yeah.
Because it's the end of the video.
Yeah, I think it ends. But you know what? I don't
know what just happened.
That's right. I'm still here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think a lot of people watch the video all the way through. I mean, very few watch the whole thing.
Yeah. It's it's crazy the retention rate on. Well, I say that a lot of the videos working on something, the so I have some of my tractor repair videos and baler repair videos. The retention rate's like 92% of the whole entire video. So some of them are really high, but then some of the, just the everyday checking in stuff, that's not high at all. Oh, I guess I need to put the chat back on. Des, hello.
Gary's already left, Des. He just left it running.
Yeah.
Well, I always said this. I don't really make the videos for everybody else. I make them for me.
Yeah.
And for my grandkids and stuff, so they could go and watch something and see how we did something. Like we're pulling fence or whatever. I show that stuff. They could see, oh, that's how they did it. Like
Yeah.
we moved our galvanized panels with goat. There's got goat wire on them, so they're really heavy, and we moved them with the tractor. So they could go back years ago for now and go, oh, that's how they moved those panels. Because you move those panels, they're heavy. Two people move them, and you move 3 or 4 panels, and man, you're done for the day. You're worn out. Especially if you have to carry them any distance in the fields.
So I don't remember how many it shows on how many videos it actually shows that I have on my channel, but there's probably at least double that are private that my wife she can go to them, and the kids can actually go to them and watch them, like Christmas videos, Christmas morning of the kids opening presents and stuff. Like they're on YouTube, but they're private videos. So you have to have the link to be able to even get to them.
Right. I can tell you how many videos you got posted in 1 second here.
Because I think it said I had like 960 videos on the backside of it that I can see, and I don't think there's that many
videos you have published is 349.
Yeah, so there's way more that I had before I even did even was started YouTube. Like I just made home videos of when the kids were little and opening presents or their birthday or something, and a lot of that is on the channel, but I have it restricted, obviously.
I just went over 1,402 videos.
Yeah, the last week or week before, whenever it was, I was looking at your subscribers. You jumped you jumped a little bit more again.
Yeah, I'm at 61. I hit 61 yesterday afternoon.
I think it was 50, right at 50 last week. I get pretty busy during the week. I don't have time to go back and watch a lot of stuff.
I'm averaging about 1,000 subscribers every 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
So
have you noticed the watch hours?
My watch hour, I'm averaging over 3,500 views a day, and my watch hours are at pushing 9,000.
Well, that's good.
9,000 in the last year, because there's always hours dropping off, but I'm pushing 9,000 watch hours for the last year. Well, I don't really worry about watch hours anymore because once you monetize, they want the views. That's what they're worried about, is the views.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm getting almost 3,500 views a day. It's just blowing me away how many views I'm getting. I mean, when I first started doing the promotions and it started getting bigger, I was still getting, 400 or 500 views, a day. Then it started going up a little higher. And now I'm averaging almost 100 views an hour or more. I mean, like this morning, well, I can tell you this morning at 2:00 in the morning from 2 to 3, I averaged 261 views in that hour.
Well, I mean, that's pretty dang good.
My lowest in the last 24 hours, or last 48 hours is 41 views in the last 48 hours per hour. I have 1 hour has 41 views.
So I'm sitting here looking at my Analytics. My top 10 videos or top 6 videos are all repair videos.
Okay.
And then the next after that, then it's well, to track the last video I did, but it would be how to get a tax number in Oklahoma. The how to get a tax number in Oklahoma, it actually has a really high retention rate on it.
Well, out of the last 10 videos that it has, it has here the top 10, I guess, or top 10 that we'll watch, whatever.
Yeah.
One, let's see, right? 4 were the most recently updated or recently uploaded. I mean,
Yeah.
Of course, the number 1 is my intro video. It's got 45,000 views. And then I've got it goes to there's a 9,000 view one, and then there's 1,100 view, 10,000 views. Then it's like it just drops down from in the hundreds. Then my number 10 is still 466 views.
So my most viewed video has 21,000 on it, and it's got 1,000 watch hours by itself. And it averages about 350 views a month.
What is that? How long is that? Is that a video or short?
It's 21 minutes long.
And that's why it's a regular video.
Yeah.
Most views. Let's see. I've got. Well, I can't count my introduction video because it's got 187,000, and my song video's got 62,000. But the next one after that's got 20,000.
Yeah.
And it's got watch hour. Or, let's see what it's got. Hours. It's got 453 hours.
See that? Then I have the one right below that has more watch hours, less views, and it's 30 minutes long. It has right under 1,100 watch hours or 1,100 watch hours, and
well, that's because of how long it is.
Yeah.
Like my intro video, it's only 3 minutes and 8 seconds long. It's got 912 watch hours on it.
Is there a way to look at short? Yay. No.
Shorts?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just go over to your channel content, hit their shorts.
Oh, okay, there it is.
And then you can go into click on the views, and that will tell you what the longest views are. And I got one that's got 52,000, 12,000, 12,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. Jesus. Jeez, I got a lot of, I didn't know I had that many 10,000s.
Yeah. Most, so I have 12, 10, 10, 7, 5, and then 5, 5, 3,
well,
3.
My bull one it's 47 seconds long. It's got 52.7K on views.
Yeah.
And I don't see there doesn't show the watch hours on that anymore. Oh, there it is. 481 watch hours on that.
Pretty good. Well, at least that. What did I just click on?
I don't know. Your sound changed different.
I think. Well, I was talking about I was in my YouTube studio, and I said make this video public, and I was like, nope.
But I don't have any private videos.
So I wanted a way to be able so we could send the videos to my wife's family, the ones that live overseas, and so we started doing it that way, and it worked out well for us. To do it that way. and we still do it that way. So like Christmas and Thanksgiving and that kind of stuff, we'll still send them a video, just send them the link so then they can hop on it and do a link. And also whenever I make some videos for people to for horses and stuff to sell, that's where I post them at. So then I just send them the link. Then they can get it off of there, or post that link into their deal. So I had a horse video that we didn't sell, but someone sold, and it has 5,000 views on it, and so I don't know where the lady posted the link at, but it got a lot of views. But if it's private, it doesn't count towards your watch hours.
No, it doesn't. It's private. I know that. That'd be public views.
Yeah.
And it doesn't count towards the views either.
No.
I've been talking to Susan about selling my stud. That's the only horse I have left is a stud. And we were talking about selling him to somebody who might be able to use him.
Yeah, we're hopefully getting out of as many horses as we have, and their horses are great, right? Like, but in today's time, and it's crazy to say that in 100 years that we have pretty much made a horse essentially useless for what we used it for,
right,
for how many thousands of years beforehand to, for main travel, but unless you're doing like a niche thing with a horse,
like showing or jumping or
or like you or that, or you're using them on a farm. I mean, if you do use them on a farm or a ranch, like I worked for a ranch up in Wyoming, Wyoming, right out of high school, and everything we did was on a horse. So there are some benefits to it that way.
And what was the reason why they did everything on horses? Because gasoline
was so big. Yeah, I mean, you'd be riding out there for. I know when we'd go check the West pasture, we would be out there for 3 days before we'd come back and see any signs of life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, on those big ranches like that, I can see that horseback being the only way to doing it.
Well, and so there's actually some studies done on it. So, and I mean, I can attest to some of it. So, whenever you go to doctor cattle, so I worked for a ranch here, pretty close to where I live at. Whenever I was in high school, and they did everything on horseback at first. And you'd be able to ride up in the middle of the group of cows, and I could just lay the rope right over the cow and then hop down and doctor it, whatever I need to do. But the moment that you get a four-wheeler involved, them cows just scatter.
Right.
So there's some pros and cons to it. Oh, a four-wheeler you don't got to feed unless you're riding it.
Correct.
A horse you do all year round.
And it takes longer to take a horse and saddle it up, and put the bridle on it and all that stuff that it does to just jump on a four-wheeler, flip the switch and hit the button and you're gone,
Yeah. And there's a lot of, you don't have to worry about breaking a leg in a gopher hole on a four-wheeler.
Right.
I've done that on a horse. I mean, there's a lot of pros and cons, but in today's time, I think we've made the horse obsolete, essentially. I don't know, just my opinion.
I kind of agree with you.
And if we don't, so Jerry, I don't know how it is where you live at, but now you can no longer buy penicillin, LA 200, LA 300 over the counter.
Well, I don't know about LA 200, 300. I know you can still order penicillin. You just can't order you can't pick up drugs that have opioids in it, I guess it is. Because you can buy a penicillin still, and you can buy LA 200 and 300 at MFA. You know, where I used to work.
Yeah, but so the first of the year they changed that in Oklahoma,
I don't know. I don't know about here yet.
and now they're. So I heard that I don't know if it's ever going to get any motion, but I heard that they're going to want you to get a subscription to get syringes and needles now for as well.
I haven't heard that. I didn't know that.
I I had a buddy of mine. He just retired from the USDA, and he was telling me that, and I'm like, that's they're really trying to push small farms out entirely. I mean, because if I have a cow that has a cough or something, runny nose or whatever the case may be, I doctor it myself majority of the time, unless it's something I can't take care of.
Right.
Same way with
You can't
goat.
afford to call it that.
No,
$150 just to show up at the farm.
yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I had a horse that went down, and I called the vet, and I figured he's not going to get back up. We don't know if he got hit by lightning or what, because he just went down all of a sudden one day, and he tried to get up, but he just couldn't move his back legs. So he called the vet, and to have him come out and put him down. Well, they said it's going to be $250. I said, excuse me?
Yeah,
I said, I'm not. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be able to recoup that money out of that animal. I'm going to be burying it. So you're going to charge me. Well, it's $150 for us to come out, and then $100 just for us to give it medicine. I went like, well, can I come get it? Oh no, it's got to be administered by a vet. It's like, well, then okay. I said I got a 32 bullet. It'll be a hell of a lot cheaper than that.
yeah.
I mean, really. I mean, it makes no sense to be that expensive for a vet to come out to put an animal down. I can see if a vet's coming out and doing surgery or something like that, and they can see, say, okay, there's a charge of $25 to come out, and then when the vet's there, you have to pay an hourly rate or something like that. Okay, fine, but just to walk on the farm is $150. Give me a break.
Yeah, fuel it's not that expensive for the fuel.
No, because usually your vets are within 10 miles of your house. I mean, they're not like driving 50 miles away.
Yeah, I mean, you might look into that. So the about the antibiotics, they made it where
I'll go down to MFA and check it out because I have not heard that.
I didn't hear about it. I went to go pick up some penicillin, and I went in there, and there's none where the normal spot is at the little milling company that I go to. And then I walk up to the counter. I'm like, "Hey, where's the penicillin at?" "Oh, you have to get that from a vet now. They made a law where we can't sell it over the counter." I'm like, "What?"
What store was that?
It's just a little co-op in the little town just north of us.
I'll have to check because I know they did. It was a law that anything that had to have special drugs in it, you had to have a script for it. Even some feed that has certain drugs in it had to have a script for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, but like penicillin and LA 200, LA 300, which are the common ones that most farmers keep on hand.
Right.
Well,
I use long range for my my parasite. I get that from the vet. I buy a 1,000 milliliter bottle of it. It's $680.
Yeah,
it's expensive, but as far as I'm concerned, if everybody asks me to compare that to ivermectin or any porons, it's the best thing in the world. It's a shot. It's at the summertime, and you're done all year. You don't have to worry about drenching them. You don't have to worry about splashing them stuff on them. You don't have to bring them back up, give them another little shot. That shot lasts all year long. It's called long range. It's supposed to only last 6 months, but if you do it in the beginning of the summertime, like I do, then come wintertime, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Right.
Most of the parasites are dead anyways.
Yeah, we've used that before. I don't use that, but I've worked for places that use the long range, and that's usually when we do it, like right around branding time, right in the end of the spring, first part of the summer. That's when we always used it.
I do it usually when I work the cows in April and May, and I'm getting ready to work cows here sometime next month.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing it, but to me, it's so much easier to do that than it is to try to give a a drench on them or ivermectin, or a pour on or anything like that. It's just so much easier.
Yeah, I mean, if something works for you, it works for you. It's like anything else. If there's nothing wrong with it if it works, right? It might be a little bit more pricey than something else, but as long as it's working,
Yeah,
that's all I can.
my saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right. It- there's there's a lot of. Oh, I cannot quit yawning for some reason, and I'm
Well,
not tired.
that means your brain's is overheated. Your body's trying to cool your brain off.
Oh, yeah,
I heard
yeah.
that. I heard that on a uh, Jeopardy question. Name three things why you people yawn, and being tired was one, being hungry is another one, and the third one was that your brain is overheating and your body is trying to cool it off. So I use that all the time. So when I yawn, I tell my wife, "Oh, I must be thinking too much. My brain's overheating."
Yeah. So Jerry, I have another question. Technology and farming. How far we've come in the last 10 years, like with GPS and the big John Deere right to work thing that we had going on for a while. What is your opinion on it? Do you think it is worth the headache or worth the problems that it causes? Like, you remember last year when all of the storms came through and people weren't able to plant their corn and soybean because their GPS wasn't working? Do you think that those are pros to be able to use the technology when you're farming, or do you think they're hurting the agriculture community?
Um, that's that's time to tell on that one. But I know that they're trying to get where you can work your farm from your house and never be in the field. Basically, where they make it where with a GPS and all that stuff with the remote control driving with the auto steer and all that stuff. They're trying to make it where a farmer doesn't even have to be in the combine anymore. And
Well,
according to the farmer I used to work for across the street, he was telling us that one of these days he won't have to worry about the tractor being alongside with a buggy because it will be remote control. All we will do is just sit there and he will control lining us up and dumping on us. And when we're full, he'll just let us know by radio or by a honk or something like that he's full. We grab the wheel and just steer drive back to the truck to dump it. That would be all we would be doing. And people would be getting paid less money to do that. So the farmer could make more, supposedly.
but so with the price of this technology, so Case IH had that self autonomous tractor that drove strictly by GPS,
Right.
but and it was battery powered as well. The life of the battery was not very good, for one.
No batteries lights are very good.
But to me, well, so you get into the seeders, and the seeders have all the sensors on the drills going down of how counting the seeds and stuff like that. But those sensors are expensive.
Yep.
I replaced 6 of the sensors, and it was like $4,000 just for the parts. That wasn't my labor included. That was just me coming out and changing them because they weren't reading anymore.
Yep, they're expensive stuff. Technology is expensive, but
But that begs the question: are we getting too big of equipment, and the cost of the equipment off? The profit margins on small farms haven't running smaller non-technology equipment. Are the profits there like they are on the
big
same? Yeah, you can't do it on. you can't do it on the
I'm
you
sorry.
can't do it on the you can't do it on the ground. The amount, so you would have to be able to do it like, say someone has 500 acres that they're planting here, and the same 500 acres over here. Your you know your yields and stuff like that, on the technology side of it, are they that much greater than what they are without it?
I don't know if they are or not. I just think that the cost to be a small farmer is tough. To be if you're not a big farmer where you can afford to have, 2 or 3 combines. Like the guy he's across the street, he's farming. When I worked for him, we used to farm 12,000 acres. And he would put like 8,000 in corn and 4,000 in beans. And he told me, and I said, well, why don't we ever plant wheat? And he said, oh, there's no money in it. Well, after I quit working for him and worked at MFA, he started planting wheat, and now he plants wheat all the time. And so I figured that they must have figured out that there is money in wheat, so you might as well go ahead and put something in the ground while it's sitting there. But he doesn't farm 12,000 acres anymore. He barely does, probably 7 or 8.
Yeah. So
At combine time, he has 2 combines he owns, and he rents another one. And the combines he owns are the most within the last 2 years. He buys a new combine every 2 years. So,
but how is that sustainable?
well, that's how the way he calculated is how it's sustainable is that the 2 combines are under warranty. So if something happens, he never has to worry about paying to have it fixed. They come out and fix it. And so he has automatic payments for these 2 combines. One's a 1 year old, one's brand new. And by the time that when they start to break down is usually when they're get to 3 and 4 years old. That's when they start having things break down, worn out. He just trades it in, and then gets another combine. And he has a set amount that pays every year to John Deere for new equipment. John Deere during the harvest time and plant time, they're across the street all the time. Their trucks are there all the time fixing something. But he figures that with the new items, his downtime is less, and his cost of him paying his guys to fix it versus them coming out and fix it because they're under warranty. He's money ahead.
Well, and then you have how many rows are these new big combines doing? Like,
well, he's on his wheat heads, he was covering 40 feet.
Yeah, well, I'm talking like your corn headers. So what you have, like 30 rows at one time?
30 rows, yeah, 30 rows.
I mean, if I was planting and I was trying to do it, I mean, yeah, you're gonna get done, 3 times as fast, most likely, because the new equipment can just outrun you.
Right.
But I don't know. I think I would rather lose a little bit of time and not have near as big a payment. I don't know. That's just my way of thinking. But too, a lot of people can't work on that stuff anymore because you almost have to have a laptop to be able to hook to it.
Computerized. Everything's computerized. It's ridiculous.
So, like, I have some software on my computer that I hook up to the guy I was talking about. I work on a lot of his stuff, and it's an older program, so it's all free now. You can actually download it. But now the new ones, I can't even get the software from them anymore because they don't sell it. They want you to come and get it fixed there, or they want to send their tech out and charge you $300 an hour.
Right. And it's ridiculous. So I say they're from when I was going to Crowder College and getting a degree in agriculture. They even talked about how the government is trying to push people into cities and only have a few large farms raising all the food, and not have people living out on 20 acres here, 40 acres there, whatever. That they just have these humongous areas of just farms, and it's like 1 or 2 guys farming this whole, basically a whole estate almost, and everybody else is pushing a little into the I call it sardines. They're jammed in a can in the
Yeah.
cities. And I kind of say that that's where a lot of the violence comes from, is that you get people jammed together, you're going to have friction.
Well,
You know?
and they don't have the stuff to do.
Yeah.
Idle hands get you in trouble more than anything.
So I don't, I don't. It's really that's a hard type of thing to talk about. That's like a discussion type thing. But I technology is good, but it's also bad. How you've seen these AI movies where the robots are going to take over the people, and all that stuff. There's quite a lot of robots doing stuff.
Yeah, but I the tech the AI stuff is kind of is bothersome, but I think there's pros to it, but I don't know that I would give it free reign to everything like some of these data people are wanting to do, networking people. Like, just give them free access to everything. Like, I think there's some things that they shouldn't have the ability to get information on. And I think that's why a lot of your nuclear programs that are all closed sourced, or none of them are open. You can't get online with any of those. Like, I'm talking about like your not your power plant, nuclear power plants. Those are all online, but
Well, I turned 68 on Wednesday,
yeah.
and I can, in the last 68 years, the technology has just jumped like you wouldn't believe.
Oh,
I remember watching TV with my folks, and it was a bubble TV, and it was live TV, and and there was 3 channels. Now we got TV that's a flat screen, and we have 2,000 different channels on it. And there's things you can watch, like everything in the world you can watch. And then our phones have more. My dad used to work for Rocketdyne or Rockwell, which was the ones that put the the Apollo spaceship up on the moon.
yeah.
And he told me that my phone has more power in it than they had total power of all the computers that ran those Apollo missions.
Yeah, 100% they do. I
So
mean,
just look at all that technology. It's changed in 68 years. What's going to happen in another 68 years?
it's going to be about 100 times different,
Yeah,
because now instead of like the that so in like 1990, so you remember the 3.5 and the 8-inch floppy disk.
Yep.
So the amount of data that it would take to do with what you can put on a thumb drive now, you could fill my 30 by 40 garage with 3.5-inch floppies with what I could put on one thumb drive.
drive.
So just how we can store data now is just crazy. And now I've seen some stuff in like the Popular Science are talking about using crystals and how it can actually store more than how we're doing it now, as soon as they can get it all figured out how to mass produce it, I guess.
Yeah, all that stuff. It just amazes me. But
Well, I mean, just computers alone, like you were saying. So your cell phone today, you would have to have a huge data facility that was one computer back back in the 80s and 70s. It was as big as a warehouse is, and you're carrying it around in your pocket, and you can do more with it.
yeah, it's just it's almost scary how fast things develop. You
Well,
know?
yeah. Well, you mean just look at the horses
Yeah.
for example, like we were talking about earlier. We can pretty much made a horse useless less than 100 years because of cars. And
Right.
for thousands of years before, that was the main means of transportation.
Yeah.
And now they're doing it with computers and
Well, you know, talking about these about computers and automatic driving and all that stuff, it cracks me up as the people think that electric cars or electric like the Tesla and all that stuff is a better way to go than having fossil fuel. But if you sit and think about it, it takes longer to charge that car back up. You only can go about 300 to 400 miles maximum on a charge a battery operated car, and this is a hybrid. You have to use a fossil fuel mostly to charge that car back up. You know, and I just think the electric cars are electric anything except for like portable drills and that type of things, which makes it easier to run extension cords. But a car or a tractor or anything like that, to me, is a waste of time. So you can
I
make the
think
batteries where they can charge up while they're driving like a solar panel on top of a tractor, and it's charging the battery as it's driving. So you never have to go to the gas station.
well, so I'm going to predicate this by saying I'm not an engineer, but to the way it you have an alternator on your vehicle, right?
Right.
Why can't now I know the theory behind why you can't charge it while you're driving because it supposedly takes more power to charge it than what you can produce, which I think is a load of malarkey. I mean, I you can get some old alternators that put out 240 volts if you take the diodes out of them. But that's a subject for another day.
Right.
But you can there's ways to make it sustainable, more sustainable, not and make it probably work better. But the problem that I have with it is the strip mining that they have to do to get the cobalt and the stuff to get the like. I just don't see. I just don't see how they're not clean. It's not everybody keeps saying clean energy, and it's not clean energy.
No, it's not clean
It's
energy.
it takes so much more fossil fuels to go mine the cobalt and the zinc and the lead and everything for the batteries than you're actually saving. The only way I could see it being an alternative is if you bring in an old vehicle and you convert the old vehicle because you're still making new vehicles, so you're still mining for steel on top of it, and
Right.
you're using fossil fuels for the plastics and all of these new cars. You know, there's so many old rotten cars all over the country. Why can't we take those and convert them to? I don't think a hybrid. I think there's a guy in Canada making logging trucks, and he's doing a diesel over electric. So the diesel generator is charging the motor and making it work. And then you can get into like the regenerative aspect of it. So whenever you slow down a diesel motor or not diesel but a gas or electric motor, it produces more power. It's producing power. So it's DC injection. So you can take that. You should be able to store it in your batteries at the same time. I don't
Well,
know.
I know that a guy I went to school with, he had a car that was half gas and half electric. You drive when you're driving, it was gas, and when the battery got low, it was battery operated. And when the battery got low, the gasoline motor would come on. But when you brake to the car, the energy as braking would go in to charge the battery also.
Yeah, that's
So he used to say, he told me he had like a 10-gallon tank on there, and he used to be able to go like almost a month before you have to get fuel.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like that, I think that's how the guy in Canada is doing it, but he's doing it with diesel, and then he's doing in these big old semi. He's taking these old like 1960s, 1970s semis and converting them their diesel over electric,
Yeah.
and then with when you do the braking, you it's called DC injection. So it's pulling the power from it slowing down to charge the batteries. Essentially, is what you're doing. Like we have to you put resistors on big motors, electric motors at work, to be able to absorb the power that it's producing, so I don't cook the drive on the for the motor. So to me, there's some just better alternatives than what we've got. But I don't know, is a lot of it governed by the government saying that no, we need it's like
It's
the
governed by somebody, I
obsolescence
think.
plan. You know what the obsolescence plan is? We were
No.
making things that last too long, so all of the big corporations got together and did planned obsolescence.
Oh, is that why things don't last like they used to last?
Yeah,
It
that's
may be. I don't know. That's beyond me. But I think it's ridiculous that we become a throwaway society. We don't fix hardly anything anymore. It's everything. If it breaks down, you just throw it away instead of fix it. My dad used to fix all kinds of stuff when he at home, and in fact, the neighbors used to bring stuff to him, and he would fix it.
yeah.
They would go out and buy it, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, I
It,
remember when I was in high school, there was a kid that had worked on a carburetor, and he made it where cars could get like 40 or 50 miles a gallon on gas. And you heard about this new technology, and all of a sudden you don't hear about it anymore. And found out that he sold the technology to an oil company because they didn't want you to be able to go that far. Because if you go that far, they would have too much gas. They would have to stop making as much fuel.
and he was found dead in his after he sold the patent. He was found dead in his apartment or his house like 3 days later.
Really?
Yeah, but did you see? So there is some new innovation stuff coming out that's kind of exciting. JCB, they have that hydrogen motor that's supposedly is pretty cool. I don't know that much about that one. I started reading the article, and I don't want to say a whole lot about it because I didn't read the entire article.
Right.
But JCB has some exciting stuff. They're a European based company.
Well, I just popped on here to say hello to you and tell you, miss you. Gotta see you come back and start doing it again. Are you working more at home now or out of the house now, or are you going still traveling for a week on end?
I'm not traveling as much, but I got because I wasn't at my plant for so long. Now I got a whole lot of stuff to do at my plant. But I get home. I'm at least home. So
Well, that's good.
yeah.
I gotta get going because I gotta feed the cows.
All right. Well, glad you hopped on here.
Yeah, it's nice seeing you again. And
Yep.
if you ever want to know more about promotions, give me a call.
Yeah.
Then I'll set you up. Like I said, we went over 61 the other day. We're already at 60, 61, 355 as of right now. So I
Well,
mean, it really goes. But I don't ever mention it to Dale because Dale doesn't like it. Well, you know what I mean. He thinks he doesn't like the way it's going. I try to explain it to him, but he had nothing to do with it. Didn't want to listen to none of that stuff.
it's offered on YouTube. It's
Right.
like it's in the studio now. So I mean,
Oh, I know. Everybody's not. Everybody had these things, but I've had. Well, Eddie Family Farm.
Yeah.
Brandon called me when I first started doing it and telling me I should stop doing it. And man, we stopped doing it. Well, it doesn't count. I said, count towards what? Well, the watch hours don't count. I said, I'm not doing the promotion on views, and I am monetized, so I don't care about that part. So I'm doing it to do on my channel. Well, it won't count towards your play button. And I said, well, Brandon, let me just say this: if it doesn't count towards my play button, when I get the 100,000 subscribers, then I will sue YouTube and I'll own YouTube. He said, what do you mean? I said, they can't tell you if you get 100,000 subscribers, you're going to get a play button and you get, you get your lives on and all that stuff, and not have a disclaimer telling you that all subs that you get from promotions will not count towards that. They have to have a disclaimer, and there isn't a disclaimer.
No,
I said,
because
but
I've read it.
huh?
No, there's not, because I've read it.
There is a disclaimer telling you that the watch hours that you get from it don't count for monetization. There's a disclaimer in there that tells you that. And I try to explain it to him. He kept saying no. He goes, my liaison tells me. I said, well, you need to tell your liaison person. They need to learn what they're talking about, because they don't know what they're talking about. So
Yeah.
when I get my play button, I'm going to do a video showing it and telling everybody, you guys are all wrong and you can all suck it.
Well, it does it because it tells you about the watch hours, and that's the only thing that it tells you. It doesn't say anything that the subscribers is, as long as they stick, that's all that matters.
Right. Right. I mean, I agree. I 100% agree with that. But that's what people were tell me there. All people calling me, tell me, oh, you stop doing it. But it was all these channels that were over 100,000 subscribers already telling me I should stop doing it. And all I can think is they're telling me to stop doing it because they don't want me to get there. Because if I get there, that means people might be watching me instead of watching them. Because you only have so many hours in a day, anyways.
Yeah.
You can only watch so many videos of somebody doing something. And I go around watch all people. I watch your videos. I go watch Devil Dogs. I watch Gary's. I don't sit and watch everybody's because I can't watch everybody's. I watch
Right.
I watch people who support me. I go and watch and support them and watch their videos.
Yeah.
People. That's what I do. But you still gotta make videos, so it takes time for that. You still gotta have your own life, so you only can watch so many videos in a day.
How many subscribers did you have when you started doing the promotions?
5,000, right around 5,000. I don't remember exact numbers, like 5,000 some odd. I was around 5,000 though, and I started, and I had talked to somebody else. Well, it's a long story. I'd rather tell you that not on the air, but
Yeah.
I had talked to a couple of different people, and one people who was doing it, somebody else was trying to do it, but they're having problems because they're in Canada, and so I figured all the ins and outs of it. The last 9 months I've been studying it, and I mean, like, every month I do different countries.
Yeah.
I'm advertising. Right now I'm up to the I and J countries. I started this about 3 months ago. Started doing two countries a month, 2 alphabets a month, to see how much difference there is. And some countries like India, I'm very, very. I mean, I'm thousands and thousands of people watch me from India, and I know that what the reason is because they worship cows there.
Yeah.
So if you have cow videos in India, they watch them a lot because they want to see how you're taking care of cows, because they believe their ancestors are coming back.
Reincarnated.
Yeah, reincarnated as cows. So that's their belief. So if you don't mistreat the cows and you have do good for cows, they watch you.
Yeah.
I've got several, and they'll subscribe to you. And they watch a lot. And that's why I think if you go and really get into the nitty-gritties of mine, you'd find out a lot of people are from India watching me. But I just keep trying to learn. And I learned one thing is you don't do is you do not go through AdSense and advertise through AdSense, because the AdSense or Google AdSense it is made for people who are selling widgets.
Oh yeah.
And so
You have to have a market that you're selling to for that to work.
right, you have to have a product. And so
Yeah.
so I learned that though, because they called me, they wanted me to do an ad through them. So I did one ad through them, and I got subscribers and stuff, but it took me 4 hours to fill out all the stuff to do the one ad where I could do it on YouTube in less than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I don't recommend that. And you don't have any control over it. You can't go in and change it. Like I say, you want to up the amount you're advertising. You can't go in and change that. Once it's set, it's set. So it's there's a lot less restrictions or a lot more restrictions on Google AdSense than there is on the YouTube promotions.
Right.
So, but anyways, if you ever want to do it, just give me a call and I'll talk to you about it and tell you how it goes about, because a lot of people, it's scary at first. I always tell people I only spend as much as I'm actually making. So all the money I get from YouTube, I just turn around and it goes right back into it for advertisement. So I'm not,
I don't see anything wrong with it, because it's a tool, and it's a tool on YouTube. You have to
Right.
be able to use it. It's like having a ratchet and you're just sitting out here using a wrench. Just use the tool that you have for it. That's just the way I see it.
Yeah, that's how I see it too. But there's a lot of people who don't like it. So, you got to be prepared for that part. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll let you go.
All right. Well, I'm going to hop off here anyway. So I appreciate you hopping up.
All right, no problem. You have a nice day.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. So then there was one. I am going to hop off here. I was only planning on going an hour, but then start talking to Jerry. It's always good to talk to different people, especially get different opinions on things. I think it's good. But we're going to go ahead and end the live stream. Thanks everybody for coming up or coming on, the ones that came in and the ones that watch it later.